Good morning. Hope you are doing well. And we will start today with a new chapter concerning the strategy of international business. Dealing with the strategy of international business is very important for multinational corporations. Why? Because when we studied the SWOT analysis of any organization, analyzing its outside environment and internal environment within a framework that deal with the external factors in addition to the internal factors. In this chapter, we will mainly concentrate on how an organization or multinational corporation can determine an effective way to set a firm and competent industry strategy. This is very important because your success in setting a right strategy means that it will be reflected on your operations all over the world. So here, it's very important that managers are able and competent to design the strategy that will allow the company to compete successfully in the international market and grow while it's operating and while it's achieving its work. So this figure shows us the external influences and the management vision. Here, the external influences, they should be in contact with the management vision, the internal processes of the organization, and the decision-making process of the management. Usually, the external environment surrounding any organization, and it's very complicated when we talk about operating in other areas, not in your local country. So the external influence will become severe. So external influences, what we will consider on two dimensions: the complexity of those influences and the dynamic movement of these influences. These include the industry structure, the competitive dynamics with other competitors, economic situation, political, legal, regulatory environment, the technology, culture, and customer expectations. So this should be dealt with a vision from the management who will be able to set a right strategy that will create value and will have an impact on the firm performance at the end. What do we mean by industry structure? Usually, each industry has a structure that will influence its profits, especially when there is perfect competition from other rivals. So, the industry structure involves a relationship among so many factors. These are the suppliers, the buyers of the products, the substitute products, potential new entrants to the market, and rivalry among competing firms, competition among the firms. So, the management vision must deal with all these pressures that come from outside environment and to set the right strategy to deal with all these forces that we are talking about. Industry structure change. Why? Because it's dynamic. We talked about the dynamism in the environment, and the industry structure is a dynamic mechanism as well. So many things, they can prompt the change, especially when we have new products in the market, new entrants, new firms coming to the market, new markets which we will enter, and new managers. What kind of managers we are talking about? They should be competent managers who have vision. The industry structure, if it changes, the changes, they are significant. And for this reason, because of these changes, the company must have the right strategy, and it must reassess its strategy in a continuous manner. Okay, even though the industry structure change, there are certain forces which should be taken into consideration that the management should consider when they reassess their strategy and they want to keep the industry structure without being impacted by all these pressures. Mainly, they should take into consideration the forces concerning the competitors' move. What are the movements that my competitors they are taking? Government policies, government laws, regulations, and policies, they are changing. For this reason, we should keep an eye always watching what the government intends to launch, from new laws to change its policies concerning other matters in our work. Moreover, we should consider the shifting preferences of our customers, because the taste of the customer, it keeps changing. For this reason, we should change accordingly. Another item which keeps changing, and it is very dynamic, which is the technological development. As we can see, technology is developing in a very fast manner, and if we don't keep with this pace of technological advancement, so we'll be much behind of our competitors. The industry structure will pressure the management to set a right strategy to create value for its work and for its operation. So strategy is very important because it helps the managers to assess the position of the firm. It identify where it should go. It should have a vision to the future. Where do we want to be in the future? It determines how to get there, the place we are anticipating to reach, our vision. So we should assess our path towards this vision. The power of innovative executives, they should utilize market limitations and overtake and beat their rivals. If they can do so, this means this is the right strategy that they can take and they can keep going on in their way of success. For this reason, the strategy of the organization means the value that will govern the firm position in the international market. Value usually measures a firm capability of selling what it produces, and what we sell should exceed the cost that we have incurred in producing the product itself. The goods and services also must exceed the expectations of customers, either with the quality or with the price, because we will have a fierce competition from our competitors. Of course, multinational corporations should consider that there are so many differences from region to region and from nation to nation. So creating value is a challenging objective for the management and for the organization, which they should consider achieving. But next week we will have the approaches that the management will follow for the value creation in order to set its strategy and to achieve its objectives and its vision. So see you then, inshallah. Bye bye.